It's the Fresh Dope Podcast, baby. We on.
What up, 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 what up? It is fucking Fresh Dope Podcast, Fresh Dope Podcast. Hey, if I could get in this camera, man, Fresh Dope Podcast. In this fucking session, I've got me, Smooth Mel, aka Mr. Hair, aka Mr. Furry, aka Mr. San Diego Gold #1 super fan. And to my right, your left, I got
your favorite waffle color brother, A Dizzle. Hang on, so you call yourself Mr. Furry. Do you manscape? Do you, is that as personal?
wow, that's sidetrack real left, real right.
Well, when you say furry, that's what I thought about. You call yourself furry.
Maybe I should leave some to the imagination.
It's like you have like a full-on forest down there.
Imagination.
Okay, all right, running away with me straight up.
We are missing our third part, Mr. Smelly Mel. He probably is real.
Mr. Smelly Smell.
Mr. Smelly Smell for real.
That's what I thought. I like that.
Smelly Smell. No, but seriously, Mr. Salam, we miss you out in Dayton or Columbus or wherever the fuck you're partying at these days.
Facts.
We are going to talk today about something serious.
And this would be great to have you on for too, because I know you're passionate about this. But the art of ghostwriting, or not the art. Well, I guess there is an art to it, but the if I can
ramifications almost.
Yeah, that the area of ghostwriting.
Yes,
the
yes.
area is better. The area is a better word. And for me, this comes. I know this has been going on for years, but the most recent big situation is obviously the Drizzy and Quentin Miller, which was like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's not really that recent, but it's a big deal because it's Drake. That's why it's been on my brain for the past couple years. I would ask if a rapper has a ghostwriter and you find out, do they lose credit as a rapper? Like, is there an asterisk next to their name like it was next to Barry Bonds and Jason Giambi and all those guys for using steroids in baseball? And then I would also ask, is a rapper even a rapper if he has a ghostwriter?
Okay.
Because
let me just
dude, it's shit silly, man.
just enter my calculation and. Yeah, he's a bum ass bitch.
Chase the bad.
You are not a rapper if you're using a ghostwriter, man. You are a tool. If we are using you as a ghostwriter, we are using you as a song singer, as in somebody who sings somebody else's songs. You've got a great voice, you've got a great cadence, and you've got probably popularity and pull already.
Yes.
And they're using that to make sure you have a pop hit song. Now, we haven't really experienced the need for that because hip-hop hasn't been pop until the last, I would say, 10, 15, 20 years, as in the biggest thing on the music market is hip-hop right now.
Facts.
So you're gonna come into this now a little bit, but no, you're not a rapper, man. We're not singing.
Okay.
You don't have vocal skill. You need to be able to write a fucking rap that makes everybody love you.
And I would agree. I think a lot of like A&R's industry professionals would argue, okay, we can sell this person based on their image or their look.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have T.I. behind the scenes writing their, writing their verses, and T.I.'s obviously getting paid and stuff like that. But like, we'll have them construct a good verse for this person. I mean, Bow Wow had ghostwriters as a kid. I mean, Diddy always had ghostwriters. I would say Baby has ghostwriters, but his verses are horrible, so there's no way anybody ghostwrote that.
He's using ghostwriters now.
Yeah, like, so it's really it's been going on for.
It's very common now. I feel like
it's been going on for since the start of it. It's part of it, I guess, unfortunately. But for me, I would argue that it puts an asterisk next to Drake's name as an MC. And Drake's a rapper; he can rap, which throws me off. But it's like, okay.
It makes me question though with everything he's ever put out.
No, he can really rap, I believe. But what could be ghostwritten? Yes. Okay. But he leaves my top 5. Not that he was ever in it, but like
it's like you can't get in.
You can't even. There's no credit
Members
now
only,
because
baby.
you're so good. I thought you were great, which you are. But then now that just sheds like it's just a bad light on it. So.
Now I think we both came out and just said that it definitely puts puts you in a different shade of light, right?
Yeah, ghostwriting is unacceptable. But I think there's another gray area with ghostwriting too.
But I was gonna say, look at where we're at today, and I don't think that message holds true with everybody. Because guess who's still #1 on the records right now?
Who?
Drake.
Well, that's because he has an image, he has a look, he can make a hit record.
But I feel like I'm just saying, like it's more acceptable now.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, in the 90s with hip-hop, like, somebody came out with, you got a ghostwriter, like, and it was big, and you're the #1 guy like Drake, you probably wouldn't be the #1 guy.
The boom bap area was definitely, like,
prideful?
It was prideful. I think, yeah. I think it was because it was a little bit more rebellious. I mean, hip-hop is still rebellious in form, but in a positive way. But I think it was more rebellious in the 90s, low-key, because it wasn't...
It had to be.
Yeah, it wasn't the popular thing,
Yep.
which everybody is using it as today. So yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think it's unacceptable. Yeah.
I definitely think it definitely knocks you down a peg in my book.
Facts. Sure. Now, and especially as an MC, But I was
What's this other gray area?
because I was speaking to an engineer out here. His name's Dawson. He works at a studio out here. He's a dope guy, great musically as well. And he said that I've talked to people that say that I've been in studios with so and so, and it's just like if someone throws out an idea while you're in the studio, they essentially have to get some type of credit for the song. Even if they just threw an idea out and you took the idea, now they're in the studio, now you give them rights to the song. But to me, like, okay, you didn't really like play it. You didn't. You gave me an idea and I went with it, but like there's nothing saying I wouldn't have came up with that idea on my own. So why am I gonna pay you for my joint?
Because in art, it's all about credibility, man. It's all about making them names credit. If you helped out, you helped out.
Even if you just gave me an idea, a very brief idea.
Well, if it's in there, wouldn't you be salty if you came up with a 2-bar and somebody used it and got paid for it and you didn't get paid for it at all?
So if it was okay, idea follow. So
if you were like a transition, like somebody had like 4 bars and then you transitioned to the 8 to the bridge, and you're like, here's this dope ass line, and you go great, and that song blows up. You don't think it's gonna blow up, blows up, and makes millions.
Right, but I wouldn't really be salty because it's just okay. I gave you 2 bars, like I wouldn't really be salty for real. I don't know. Maybe I'm being very naive on this in this regard. It just wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think hooks are different though. I think if you give in regards, you still have ownership of your part of the record because you're on the record. You actually wrote a key part of the record. But like, if you have a catchy hook, that's different than writing my verse. You're 16, you're 8, you're 12, you're 32. That's like a precious thing. That's supposed to come from like right here.
The heart.
Like yeah.
The heart.
You know. So like, I'm not as opposed to having somebody taking a hook from somebody, but your verse, that's got to be you all the way to 110.
I agree.
Let us know what you think. Ghostwriting's been going on forever. Is it acceptable? Is it part of the game? Is it
still
always been part of the
Drake?
Game? Yeah. Does that mess up artists like Drake and Diddy's not like an MC, but Drake for you, individuals of that nature? Does that mess it up? Kanye, whatever it may be, whoever it may be, let us know. Comments below. You can tweet us at FDO Podcast. You can hit the gram at Fresh Dope Podcast, FreshDopePodcast.com, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. You dig?
We everywhere.
In the Facebook. Shout out to everybody on Facebook that's been rocking with us. We appreciate you. Ty Bond, my guy TZ, KSD. Salute to all y'all. Appreciate you.
And the YouTube subscribers, we got a couple of them hitting up the comments. We appreciate it.
Facts, big facts. Oh, always your cousin Brian Gaylor. That's that dude.
What up,
That's
B?
that dude pointing out my quirks and shit. You know? No, I'm with it. It's Fresh Dope.
It's the Fresh Dope Podcast, man. We out.